So my life before Tennessee Children's Home, about a year and a half ago, consisted of just about everything. You know, reckless behavior, just in and out of getting into fights with somebody, or always fighting with my parents. You know, got into drugs, a little bit of alcohol, started smoking. Me and my mom got into a fight over some little things, and just it escalated because, like, me and my stepdad never really got along. I just let my reckless behavior, you know, just get the best of me, and, you know, I made my own judgments. I made my own judgment call of just moving out my mom's house and going living by myself. And shortly in October of 2013, boom, DCS came and got me, and ever since then, you know, I let my reckless behavior still get to me. And it was just one of those things where, you know, I wasn't ready to give up on my old life. Yeah, I mean, you get used to something for so long, and you're not told what to do, and then you're given all these responsibilities. You're just like, you know, where do I go from here? You know, how do I do this? And that's just kind of what I was doing. I just lived life in the moment and did everything bad. Been at the children's home for about a year now. I started off in a different house to begin with than the Catherine house, and you know, they have a little bit more rules, a little bit more structure. You know, it's based upon somebody like me who didn't come from structure or have many rules to follow, and just get me back on that straight. And like, they want to get somebody on that straight and narrow again. That's what the children's home is for. And then they realized that I had some A&D problems. So, like, I was pretty much an addict to alcohol, and I wanted to smoke and all that other stuff. So pretty much what it had led up to is I moved house, and since January, I don't remember when, but I know in January of 2014, I was an A&D patient pretty much for about 6, 7, 8 months. And I mean, really, they turned me around and let me realize that God is good pretty much, and that I should be following His word instead of going out and doing all this crazy stuff that I was doing, and just get me to realize that I need to take life a little bit more seriously. Currently, I'm enrolled in college. I got my GED back in June of this summer, and I realized that I go to school, so what other way to blow off time than go to school and start making friends again and getting back into the world. I currently go to Tennessee College of Applied Technology for automotive mechanics. I started in September, and that's a 20-month program in itself, so I got a long ways to go, but I've got nothing but time on my side. You know, as long as I got God to walk me through that journey, I mean, this is another thing that I get to look forward to in my life. Children's Home has been great to me. I mean, they've really helped me out here. In the past couple of months, it's just been great. I mean, if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be where I am today, talking to y'all and doing this at all. I mean, really, I'm blessed to be where I'm at today, and I think the Children's Home and everybody who's been a part of it for the past pretty much year and a half I've been in custody. I mean, they've really helped me turn around with everything.
My life before I came to the Tennessee Children's Home consisted of getting into a lot of trouble. When I was about 8.5 years old is when it started. My dad had recently passed away, and we moved to Franklin from Memphis and just started doing what I wanted to do, disobeying my mom and any other person who I would perceive to be an authority figure. And my mom never remarried, so I never had another father figure in my life. So constantly I was in and out of trouble, just running the streets and doing what I felt like I wanted to do, making my own decisions. When I became a resident at the Tennessee Children's Home, I started out just trying to basically lay low, be quiet, and see how everything around me worked. Eventually, I actually broke out of my own shell and started paying attention to the other people. Started to learn and understand that being here wasn't necessarily like a jail or an imprisonment. It was more of modern day life and the way that family and values and stuff should be. Here at the Tennessee Children's Home, that's what you get taught. Not necessarily do you get taught you're going to be punished because of this, but more or less that you have family who will support you, back you up, and not necessarily criticize you for your wrongdoing, but more help walk you through it and work with you through any trouble that comes your way. Since leaving the Children's Home, it's been about 14 years, and it was a little rocky starting out. However, now today, I currently own my own business. I fought against every battle that most common people would try to say against a juvenile, someone who grew up in state's custody, which was, you'll grow up to be like your dad or like this person. Ultimately, what I found out is you grow up to be who you want to be. You make your own decisions, and ultimately, any goal that you set, you can reach, no matter what your past has been, what you've been through. My feelings for the Tennessee Children's Home are very high as far as the people and the programs that I respect. And one of them was Mr. Mike Uhas and his family. I was in their home for 10 months while I was in the Children's Home, and he took me in as one of his own kids. And honestly, for the 10 months I was here, he was one of the closest things as a father figure. And he constantly would help you and talk to you through things and just to teach you life values. The Tennessee Children's Home made an impact in my life at the younger age I was here. I was here when I was 15 until 16. And within the 10 months of my stay here, I would say I turned my life around from how I'd started out, and the time I was here. It made an impact in my life to where 14 years later to today's date, it's something, and there's people I still talk about here, and I encourage people to listen to other people's stories, and whether or not it's someone you don't like, but if they're an authority figure or just another person who has life experience. That's what I learned at the Children's Home, talking to all the house parents, Mike Uhas, James McEwen, and everybody who was here.
Hello, I'm John Grimes. I was born out of Nashville, Tennessee, and I spent April 2004 until about mid-October 2004 at the Tennessee Children's Home, located in Spring Hill, Tennessee. Up until that time, it was sort of a tumultuous time in my life. Between my parents, things weren't always well at home. My dad was usually out of town on business. My mom wasn't in best healthy state at that time. So you can only imagine for a teenager, that can be kind of hard when you kind of missing a mentor in that situation. Sometimes you can kind of veer off of your path, so to speak, which kind of led to sort of a demise when I was about 16. Got into some little trouble, whether it was school, outside of school, as a juvenile delinquent, and my parents and the judge felt it was best to place me at the home, and hopefully it would get me back on track. At that time, like I said, I didn't have much respect for, I guess you could say, authority or authoritative figures. It was, you could say, a rude awakening upon my arrival there, and there was definitely adjustment. Having guys like Mike Uhas and Mr. Johnson and others, really, I was able to see some leadership at that time, something I needed as an adolescent that I didn't really have at home. And guys like Mr. Uhas kind of took me under his wings, so to speak, and kind of mentored me and helped me understand that, you know, you don't have to have two parents at home. You don't have to have all that. You can't look for excuses for reasons why you're not productive, or you know, whether it's anything with behavior outside of school incidents, anything. You have to find a way to channel all that, whether it's anger, whether it be whatever it is going on, and you have to make yourself better. And working in the hay fields with them, gardening, going to church 3 times a week, those type of things kind of built up a good work ethic for me, taught me the value in work, the principles, and just building up good work ethics and habits to help develop me growing up. Wow, it was special, and I actually got to enjoy all that, and working with others. It helped me work better with other people and kind of take charge and kind of try and lift those around me that were maybe struggling with the adjustments of being there and things like that. And it kind of taught me some good leadership skills that I took later into the Navy, and I continue to try and use today. I spent from June 2008 until December 2012 in the United States Navy. Now I'm located just outside of Washington, D.C., where it all started for me here in the Navy, on the aircraft carrier, the Harry S. Truman, where I became the commanding officer's yeoman, working directly with the commanding officer and the ship secretary, and I got to be a part of some special moments of some deployments. As I was in the Honor Guard in D.C., I also got to do some state dinners. I was part of the inauguration. I've been next to Obama several times, spoke a few times with him, as well as the Vice President, Mr. Biden. So and I guess what led to all that, would help me, give me strength to find it within myself to enlist into the armed forces, was kind of what I learned at the home. When I was thrown there, kind of thrown into the wolves almost, I built up a lot of self-discipline, a lot of leadership skills, like I alluded to earlier, that helped me realize that I can do anything I put my mind to. So I said, well, the best thing I could do now is dedicate my service to my country, and hopefully that will get me on the right path, and I can go to school and move forward with my life. And that's what I've done now. I'm studying full-time and working part-time. Right now I'm taking 5 classes, and I'm on pace to obtain my bachelor's next year. I have some credits from the Navy, and I'll be getting my associates just in a few more months. And I'm looking at going into business. I'm studying international business, minoring in economics. Like I said, I think a lot of that is attributed to the home. If anything, I would like to contribute to the home, and whatever I could do. I'm hoping this helps. Stories like mine, because even if it's just 1 out of 10 of those kids that you can help, they can contribute to society in whatever area it is. My story, or I'm sure there's plenty others, but if you can just touch one of those young men's lives, they can go on and reach out to others and help them too. I feel like it's pivotal that the state and others continue to help aid, because the Children's Home does a whole lot of good for a whole lot of young men like myself. And I came from humble beginnings, and I never forget where I came from. And like I said, a lot of my success is of course attributed to the Tennessee Children's Home. And it was a special point in my life. It's where I finally knew I could believe in myself and I could achieve what I've wanted to.